Welcome back. I'm Rain. I'm joined by Sutonia, and we are commentating Remake Amar Great again versus Tempest. And as you can see, Tempest Kelsif actually hasn't landed on grid, but I will introduce Remake Amar Great again. They have brought the Dami, Merm, Vexer, which are all those DPS ships, Confessor, Retribution, and a Fleet Vigil, and they have all warped everything in at 50. Sutonia, what have Blue Team brought?
Well, Tempest Kalseth have just warped in at 0 with their Blaster Shield Tank high DPS team. So they have a Rogue, a Cyclone, a Bifrost, Harpy, Moa, and Merlin, and they're all packed with blasters. And since they warped in at 0, I think their intentions are pretty clear here.
Yeah, so I'm expecting when the match starts, what we're gonna see are the reds running away and the blues charging. I know that Blaster Rogue is not a force to be reckoned with, and I do not want to see how, or I actually kind of want to see how some of these teams attempt to try and tank him if they can.
Yeah, so these guys have that Fleet Vigil, which obviously has a bonus to webs. It's not a ship you really see too often outside of factional warfare, but it does have a web range bonus, even though it's only 15-kilometer webs that could hopefully keep that Merlin and the Harpy off the big drone ships that they have that they obviously want to try and cut away with.
Yeah, another thing to note too is that Dami, Merm, and Vexer get all of their DPS from drones, while T2 drones are banned. T1 and faction or Navy drones are allowed, so those drones will still be dishing out a lot of DPS, and they do have big drones. Immediately we see that Merlin taking damage, but that frees up their high slots to actually equip anything, whether it's guns on their own or like E-War of any type.
Yeah, so the whole Tempest Kalseth team has just charged right in. You saw that Bifrost charge in straight away, get tackle on the Myrmidon. It looks like they have got tackle on the Myrmidon and Dominic, so they won't be able to cut away, but it looks like the Merlin is in trouble. The Bifrost is taking quite a bit of damage here, although the Myrmidon is actually getting pretty low armor right now. And that's going to be a problem, especially since that Rogue hasn't quite arrived yet. He's probably still shooting with no Myrmidon in hull.
Yeah, the Myrmidon, or the Rogue, is actually flying very, very slowly, but the Myrmidon is in structure. He's attempting to rep some of that damage back, but it should be noted that a lot of the... Holy cow, so he just immediately volleyed off the field, as well as that Merlin, that tackle Merlin for the blue team. And the Bifrost. The Bifrost, so those links are gone. It should also be noted that those links were armor links for some reason. We weren't able to figure out why, but they are gone now.
I think it's just an error in the spreadsheet, because I think I saw the shield effect from the links. So, Make a more great reloaded dot have the Dominics tackled going down, and they've only really killed the Bifrost and Merlin, which are much smaller ships in response to that, and that Rogue is heavily on top of their stuff now. They also have a scram on the Vexers, so the Vexers also not going anywhere, and it's unlikely that the Confessor and the Retribution, if they're on their own, are going to be able to break through the XISBs on the Rogue and Cyclone.
Yeah, so the Dami now entering structure. He's barely able to rep some of his armor back. But that Rogue is actually sitting right on top of him. He is being pinned down by that Harpy, Hero Harpy, rushing in. So everyone thought that Remake Amara Great Again was actually going to win this because drone spam wins, but actually it looks like Blaster Comp was superior.
Yeah, the Make Amara Great Again Reloaded Dot team had a lot of newts on that Dominic's and Myrmidon actually, and also on the Vexer too. So I think what they were trying to hoping to do was stall out the match a bit and then sort of newt out the guns on the Harpy, Moa, Rogue. But when you're up against this much DPS just charging into you, it's very hard for those newts to make their magic work in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, and so as we mentioned, a lot of the DPS is actually gone for the Amara team. They still managed to kill that Moa. We saw that Moa drop rather quickly, especially with his A. But now this Vexer, I want to say the last of the heavy DPS for the Amar team going down as they're attempting to kill this Harpy.
Yeah, the Vexer has dropped now. They still do have a Confessor and a Retribution. They still do actually put out quite a bit of DPS between them. And if they can control the Harpy with the webs, then maybe they can kill it. Although it looks like the Vigil Fleet issue has been tackled by that Harpy, so he's going to go down pretty soon. That's going to take away their defensive webs from the Fleet Vigil. And then the Harpy is going to be faster than the Confessor and the Retribution. Maybe not the Retribution, but he should be able to run down the Confessor at least. And it's going to be a big problem for them. And I'm not sure if a Confessor and Retribution can break the tank on a Rogue. Although it looks like they did kill the Harpy.
And it should also be noted this Cyclone has been acting as heavy tackle for the Calcif team as well. And they are now, oh wow, that Confessor is going down very quickly. He is a bit too close. I want to say too close, but he is actually pulling a decent amount of range, but still taking a lot of heavy fire.
Yeah, both of them are pulling range now. Gorski Car is also taking damage in his Retribution. You can see he has like a flight of drones from the Cyclone and the Rogue chasing him, and it looks like they are slowly breaking him. They will probably finishing him off over time. He does have a lot of space in the arena though to move away. It looks like he is killing some of the drones.
Yes, manually piloting is key. So it looked like that Confessor lost transversal for a second, and that Rogue managed to get some really good volleys off, but he repped it all back and is now Gorski with the Retribution. I believe 8 assault damage controls are allowed in this turn, so he would be able to technically use that DCU, rep back up if needed, and attempt to continue to tank these drones.
Yeah, it looks like he's barely scraping by. There's still a few drones chasing him, but the Confessor and Gorski's Retribution have managed to clear most of them out. There's only 2 drones left on Gorski Car's Retribution, which is like dangerously close to structure. The thing is, even if they kill these drones and stabilize, there's only 5 minutes left on the clock. I'm not sure if a Confessor and a Retribution have enough DPS able to break through a Rogue and a Cyclone in that amount of time.
Yeah, so obviously at a tie, so you have 2 ships left on each side, but in a tie, the bigger ship wins. So obviously, a Rogue being a bigger ship, being a battleship, bigger than that seems pretty obvious, but for those who are very unaware of how this works, the obviously blue team would win or the Tempest team would win.
Yeah, and that Cyclone has the has shield links too, so that's also going to be augmenting the tank quite a bit. You saw that sort of blue sphere shoot out of the Cyclone. That's going to increase the active tank on the Rogue and the Cyclone. The Rogue has a resistance bonus, and it's a battleship with an XRSB, and the Cyclone has an active tank bonus. So both of those ships are going to have very formidable active tanks. It's going to be difficult for the Confessor Retribution to break them in the 4 minutes they have left remaining.
Yeah, I want to say I don't really think there's much more that can be done unless the piloting by Gorski and Arya get messed up somehow, and the Rogue and Cyclone are able to land a couple good volleys. But it looks like there's another field of drones or a flight of drones going on at their Retribution. 2 of them, both from the Rogue and the Cyclone. So maybe they'll be able to finish off the Retribution, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to do that or if they're just going to lose.
Yeah, Gorski's Car's Retribution about to dip out of armor now. I think they can probably kill Gorski. If they do, then I don't think there's. I mean, not that there's really any chance for them to win right now, anyway. But
this is where matches really, really slow down. We had a very intense first half of the match, and now the second half is really, really dull and painstakingly, I would say, like uneventful.
I mean, the Amar Great Again Reloaded guys just don't want to lose their Amar ships.
Hey, I don't blame him. Amar Victor, right?
Yeah, Gorski Car's actually getting pretty close to the arena edge, though. He's 100 kilometers away. I believe the arena is the same as the AT, 125 kilometers. Looks like he has slowed down now. 106 kilometers, 105 kilometers. Okay, he's coming back in now, but that looked like that looked pretty close for a second there. It looks like the Confessor actually has the drones on him now, and Confessor doesn't quite have the same tank as the Retribution. Actually, is this fit especially, I think it's more of like a nano beam fit. He could be in trouble, especially if Gorski Car doesn't come back in to help clear those drones off of him.
Yeah, that actually looks like, if I'm seeing this right, the Rogue is also taking pot shots at him too. So not only does he have to deal with these drones in his pretty Jubilee, duly noted, but he also has to worry about keeping transversal on the Rogue, because if he doesn't, the Rogue might land some pretty solid shots. He does have his local rep running, which I can see him attempting to rep some of that back, but he is also half structure, very, very low armor.
Yeah, he's just burning in defensive mode. He's getting bonus resistances and signature radius from that mode, although he's still having some trouble with these drones here. Like, Gorski Car came in to help clear the drones off of his fleet mate. Looks like some of the drones have actually switched onto Gorski Car as well. Both of them are doing fine. There's just 2 minutes left on the timer though, and I don't think they have any chance of doing anything. So they're just kind of memeing and shit posting, which is what the Amar are known for and good at.
Yeah, there was some local chat banter going on. I think some smack talk and some attempted bribery or AWOXing between. Confessor now doing just fine. He's managed to pull enough range where the ships can't really hit him and the drones aren't doing that much damage.
Yeah, but both of them are fine for now. Looks like some of the drones are coming off Gorski and back onto the Confessor again, but Confessor should be okay as long as he doesn't like eat Norwell from the Rook again.
All right, it should be noted. So Jin Tan has graciously pointed out the losing team here, which would be the red teams, are actually having to play right. So they're actually tactically stalling the match to help do picks and bans. So technically they're not breaking any rules because the matches do go to 10 minutes. There's no harm for them. But it's strategic play too to give their pilots a chance to regroup and come back in. For those who are unaware, tournament play, regardless if it's the Alliance tournament or not, or just one of these player-run tournaments on Thunderdome, are pretty intense, and you get roasted pretty hard if you lose. So
Gorski, the Confessor's about to die, and Gorski is very close to that Typhoon and Rogue. Like he's like almost in tackle range. So the Confessor is getting run down here. The Cyclone is actually going to tackle him. There's a scam on the Confessor. He's pretty much dead now, and Gorski Car is just kind of chilling off, not really doing anything. He's like control spaced. Oh, yeah. Moving kind of slowly and weirdly.
Yeah, so these pilots having to be on their A game in back-to-back tournaments is still pretty. Obviously, you saw that Confessor get too distracted where a battleship could creep, or a battle cruiser could creep up and tackle. Gorski having to fight off drones again.
Then that's the match. I guess we'll throw it back to EQ. The Retribution, the Confessor definitely not good at feathering.